My name is Dimeji. I'm an automobile engineer where am a professional mechanical engineer. I deal with cars, I repair cars. That's what I do. I'm from Abeokuta, Ogun State. I attended Olabisi Normal University. That's where I finished. My growing up, was I grew up in Ogun State with my parents. Both of them civil servants, teachers. I have siblings. My growing up was full of discipline, though, so that's really helped me in what I'm doing now. Being a son of teachers, the father, the mother, both of them are teachers. So it was good. It was good. When I finished my university, when I finished my service year, I just discovered that there's no job anywhere. I just have to create one for myself. Although that time I was thinking of traveling out of the country, going to US, but I just sat down and thought to myself, like, even if I'm traveling out of this country, when I get to where I'm going to, what do I do when I get over there? Will I start doing dirty jobs? So instead of that, let me just empower myself so that when I get over there, I will find something doing that will fetch me money. So, and I discovered that the way technology is going, even if I don't travel out of this country, like, okay, if I should go into this, it will really help me. Meanwhile, I love something that is challenging. I love doing tasks, embarking on tasks, something that will make me to reason, think about things like that. So I discovered the way technology is going, it's really moving fast. The automobile, everything is moving fast, and our mechanics that we have now, they don't follow the trend of this technology. So most of them, they don't research. So I just like grab the opportunity of just going into the field. Being educated, I know that will help me. So that was how I started, and that was my main reason of going into automobile engineering. Being a mechanic, if we should look at our mechanics in Nigeria, let me say, and the way people perspect seeing a mechanic, they believe a mechanic is something, a mechanic is somebody that is not educated but has skills. Then when you see a mechanic coming, you can easily recognize, I think this guy is a mechanic. Like the way he's dressed, most of them you even mistake them as for somebody that is mentally derailed or a madman or something. So the challenge was just like, let me change the way. Although mechanic, you'll be dirty when you work. It's a dirty work. You'll be dirty. You have oil spill all over you. But you just make sure you are as neat as possible that you can be. So then another challenge is when people see me as a mechanic, they look at me, they look at the standard, they look at my dress, the way I'm neat. The challenge is just that when people look at you like that, they believe that, wow, this guy is a graduate, is a mechanic, his charges will be high. His charges will be high. So most of them, they don't want to. And if you look at Ogun State, we believe Ogun State is a civil servant state, where most people are civil servants. They are into civil service. They don't earn much, so and they calculate the way they spend their money. So when they look at you, they will believe your charges will be high. So they will prefer to take their cars to like a roadside mechanic that won't even charge them. Somewhere that won't even charge them. So after the job, they just feel like, okay, thank you, take this one, take and drink coke, something like that. So that's one of the main challenges. That's one of the main challenges. Another challenge was when I started. It's not easy being a graduate. Then I went to learn at a mechanic workshop. So most of the people there, I was older than them. So because I was old already when I started the thing, I'm not old though, but I was over my 30. I was over 30 years of age. So the challenge was how to cope with these people. The challenge was when they send you to go and do something, they don't want to know. They just want to like go and do this. Go and do this. Go and bring that one. Go and drink. Go and buy that one. So that was a challenge then. So I think it's not a big challenge though, but it was a challenge too. I started learning it in 2016. In 2016, January to be precise. So I had a very close friend then. I told him like this is what I wanted to do. Then we look around. We look around Abeokuta as a city, and he took me to a young man, I think a friend of his. So then we were able to locate this engineer. So he's an engineer too. He's a automobile engineer. So I was able to learn under him. Although he too is educated. In fact, he was a lecturer before he resigned. He was a lecturer, so he was able to really help me because as a graduate too, as an engineer, he was able to help me. He knew what I was looking for then, so he knew what I was looking for because he too is educated, so he was able to train me. I spent like 2 years under him, learning. He was able to train me. So then after the 2 years, I took it to the next level whereby I have to stand on my own. Let me establish myself. So I was able to find a land where I was able to put things together, put guys together, guys that they were looking for opportunity to just come out. They were just looking for opportunity to come out. Then I too being educated, they saw it as an opportunity for them to like, okay, if they should work with this guy, I think things will be all right for them instead of them
being just on a low key stuff. So that was how we were able to come together, like 3-4 of us. So we were able to come together. They have the experience more than I do. So with my own education, with their own years of experience, so we were able to really put things together. Yeah, when I informed my family, my parents, my siblings about this, that I want to go into this. Although my brother was one of the people that really encouraged me. He was one of those people that really encouraged me. And like, wow, okay, you can take an advantage of this, because the way technology is moving. And then my parents, they always knew me as somebody that is so hardworking, somebody that wants to explore. They always know me like I always want to be independent. I don't want to depend on anybody. I don't want to depend on salary. They've known me with that. Even from my university days, where I was schooling at the same time, I was doing fine art work, whereby I do portrait for people. You know, my instead of my leisure time, I use it to work. I make portraits for people. So they've known me with that. So they have always been encouraging me. So when I wanted to go into this, they knew where I was coming from, and they knew where I was going. So it wasn't a big deal for them. So they really supported me. It was a big support. Well, as a graduate, it really helped me in moving. When I was learning, it really helped me in moving, because something that would have taken years for somebody to accomplish, it took me like 2 years. Even when I tell people about when I started, some of them they argue with me, like, okay, within this short period of time, how are you able to like achieve these things? So it was as a result of being a graduate too, because what I was able to achieve, to learn within 2 years, is something that someone would have spent 10 years, 15 years to accomplish. So it really helped me. Then when I was learning too, I go on YouTube, I go on Google, search for things, how this one works, how that one works. I was reading books, I have textbook, I had textbook sent from US, so I was really reading, really studying, then coupled with the practical aspect of it. So it's really helped. You know, when you are educated, it's not, I don't wait for somebody to tell me things. How do I do this? How does this work? I go on research by myself. I research, I read, I browsing, going online, going on internet. So all these were just as a result of being a graduate. I see my business Autologic, whereby when you mention Autologic, just the name. When you mention Autologic, just the name, people will, it won't be strange to their ears. To car users, it won't be strange to their ears. Where people will bring their cars from Lagos State, bring it down to Abeokuta, bring their cars from Ibadan to come and fix their cars here. Then I see the workshop whereby I have equipment, car lift, tire changers. I have different departments in the workshop. You know, just a very nice place. People bring their cars from different parts of the country. That's where I see it. Then I see it whereby our youth can come and learn, come and see what is happening, come and see that you don't live your life. You don't live your life based on certificates. Then you don't allow your certificate, your degree to enter into your head, and you can start anything that is right at any time. It's never too late. That's I see it as a center whereby it empowers people. It empowers people. Yes, that's what I see it. Wow, what I enjoy most about my career is just the it allows me to utilize my thinking ability. It really helps me utilizing my thinking ability. I'm this kind of person that my mind is always working, calculating things, moving around. So when I started the engineering work, whereby people will just bring their cars, somebody will just bring his car and say, "Okay, my car is just making a kind of noise. If I want to climb a place, it will do it will do something, whereby it might be something minute that is wrong with the car." So I see it challenging, whereby I have to first find out what is actually wrong with the car, because you can't work on a car. Whatever you want to repair, you have to know where are you going to. So it's so challenging, and I love things that are challenging like that. So people bring in their cars. Sometimes we have to diagnose it with scanning tools. You don't just do guesswork. When you diagnose it, you know what is exactly wrong with the car. Maybe it's a fault, it's a sensor, it's a wire somewhere. So you go straight, and it also saves time when we do that. So I love it when it is challenging like that. There are sometimes whereby you work on a car, let's say you can't finish it in a day, and you get home, you are still thinking. Even when you are sleeping, in your sleep, you are still thinking, you are dreaming about the car, about, okay, what could be wrong with this thing, And so it helps you to really use your brain. Your brain won't be dormant. I just sit somewhere expecting salary at there. So that's one thing I love about it. My worst experience ever in the job was a lady. when I was learning under my boss, was a lady. I don't want to mention where she works. So my boss asked me to go and pick the car that day. I went at a place of work. I went to pick the car. So I brought it to the workshop. I did everything on it. I was the one that worked on the car that day. I was able to service it, do so many things. So he asked me to return the car to the lady. So when I went and returned the car, so I came back to the workshop. When I got back to the workshop, she called my boss. That's your boy. He brought my car. When he was bringing the car, he put on AC, he put on radio. The radio was loud. People, my friends, before he got here, he had branched at so many places. They saw him going from one place to the other, and he was just reporting to my boss that day. So when I got to the shop, my boss was like, Dimeji, this lady says something. Me, even you just calculate it. The time I left the workshop, the time I came back, is it possible for me? And the lady was just like, and I was just looking at her, I was just laughing. And it was so painful to me. Although she might see that, but the way she stood, like, I don't know, it was so painful. So it was one of those things. I was just looking at her like, okay, if not that I came here to learn, would you just talk to me like that on a normal day whereby two of us meet? You can't just talk to me like that. So it was just one of those things that it's one of those challenges. And what really helped me that time was before I went to learn that time, I was able to really humble myself that whatever comes, that I will take it the way it is. So I was just calm that day. A word of encouragement to our youth. Like I said, our youth, what we celebrate in Nigeria most is the certificate. I'm a graduate of so. I came out with this, I came out with that. Apart from what you came out with, okay, what else do you do? How do you empower yourself personally? What skills? What can you render? Because it is Nigeria that we are celebrating these things. Like, okay, when you go outside of this country, they want to know what you can do, what you can render, how skillful are you, how intelligent are you. Not say bring your certificates, let me see, or bring your CV. I will put you in a company. I'm your uncle, all this stuff. So I will just encourage the youth to just empower themselves, because there's no job anywhere. Even when you go to university, after you're coming out, you just be looking for a job that is nowhere. So many people have came out, they have graduated before you did. They are still there searching for jobs. So you just come out, you just empower yourself, get skills, not skills in internet fraud, yahoo stuff, whereby stars will be chasing you up and down. You buy a car, you can't drive it. You feel like if I drive it out now, they will follow me, they will arrest me, they will collect my money. So I'll just encourage them to just be skillful and use their head. My name is Dimeji. I'm an automobile engineer.